Hello and welcome to Conversations at the Dinner Table. I'm John and I got Brian with you. Brian, how you doing, man?
Hey, Jonathan, what's going on?
Well, we're doing all right. We joined Kang last week and now it's just us.
Yeah, what's up?
That's a scary thought. But real quick.
When he salutes the flag salutes back. When he questions the outcome of an election, the DOJ indicts itself. When he sneezes, people say, "God bless America." Cuba imports cigars from him. He is the most patriotic man in America.
I don't always smoke cigars, but when I do, I smoke Patriots. Stay MAGA, my friends.
My favorite. Can I get one of those?
No, Bill. We all know what you like to do with cigars. Patriot Cigars, a premium smoke for freedom-loving patriots.
The Patriot Cigar Company's story started with Alan Jacoby's love of cigars and love of America. There's no better way to celebrate the freedoms we cherish than smoking a premium Patriot cigar. Whether it's TNTs, Moabs, Hellfires, or Mark 48 torpedoes, all Patriot cigars are handmade and blended.
We're in
with
DVR.
100% long filler premium Nicaraguan tobacco to bring you the smoothest smoking experience imaginable. Patriot cigars are enjoyed by many of MAGA's finest. Do yourselves a favor and...
All right. So, Brian, what are you saying here?
We're in DVR status. We're not even live.
This says live on my side. Yeah, we're live. I've got a live button up here that shows me we're live.
Okay, well, I just went to the webpage.
We're live, dude. I'm looking at Rumble right now, and it's showing us saying we're live. So, yeah, we're good. So, welcome to Conversation at the Dinner Table. I'm John. I got Brian with me. So, today we're going to focus on the importance of family.
Oh, boy.
What?
Just everything with this election has turned family upside down, dude.
Oh, yeah. No, you don't have to tell me twice. It's been very interesting.
There we are. Okay, we are live.
Yeah, I told you.
Hey, AP's with us.
Hey, AP, what's going on, man? Welcome to the Conversations at the Dinner Table. For those of you that don't follow AP, you are losers and need to go find a new life. He does a 1 o'clock show every weekday. I try to tune in. If I don't tune in, I watch it afterwards. It's a pretty good show. But anywho, check him out. He's got some good content, much better than what we got going on. I'll give you that.
Well, that's because he's got the greatest producer in the world.
Oh, yeah. Who's his producer?
I don't know.
Must be nice. AP, you want to be my producer? Maybe we'll do something fun. No, I'm trying to adjust a little bit here and there and everywhere. Nope.
I don't know, dude. I mean, like AP, he's here. Today he talked about the left is a cult. It's a religion.
Yeah, it's sad.
And these people are so pissed at us for voting for Trump. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really talked to my sister in over a month.
I tried calling mine, and I didn't get a response from two of my sisters. And I've tried to contact them multiple times since the election, not to talk about the election, but just to catch up like we normally do.
Yeah.
But I caught wind about, was it Joy Reid putting something on TikTok or not TikTok. I don't know where she originally posted this, but I've got it on X.
We posted it on X.
Okay. About talking about how we're such terrible people for voting for what we believe in when that's what they did with Joe Biden. And then, they want us to not go to Thanksgiving dinner they don't want to join us for Thanksgiving or any of the holidays. I know.
Well, you know how all this started, right?
What's that?
That psychiatrist from Yale University came
out.
Is
that what stemmed it all?
Yeah.
But anywho, so I've got this video I want to throw up here because it's just absolutely phenomenal. And we're going to see if Rumble allows me to play something with sound. I changed the setting the other day so I could talk while playing games. So let's see if this actually works. AP, if you're still in the chat, let me know if you can hear this. But
hey, Chick Pickens. What's going on, Robert?
we got Tick Pick in here. Let us know if we got sound on the video that I'm trying to get pulled up.
If not, I can share the screen.
Yeah, we'll get Brian to share it, but at the same time, that's not what I want. Oh, I got some editing to do real fast. Properties. Not this one. X, there we go. All right. That's what I like about this program. You can just kind of do it on the fly, and it's not really that big of a deal. But let me know if you can hear this. Oh, that's the wrong screen. Apparently, I have 2 Twitter screens up, and I didn't know it. Give me 3 more seconds. But anywho, yeah. So I've got a sister who.
Well, while you're doing that,
2 sisters won't answer my phone call, and from what I understand, they don't want to join us for Christmas, so they made their own Christmas party because they don't want to be around us Trumpsters. Thought that was quite interesting. There it is. Okay. Transition you to there. Transition. Here we are. There we are. All right. Solo. And we're going to play that.
yeah, I can't hear that at all.
So it sounds like she is just absolutely thinking that the Trump administration is going to come hunt these people down for not voting for him. That is not the case. That is far from it.
I don't think anybody heard the video.
Oh, damn it. All right.
All right, I'll go for it. Hold on.
What do you got? What are you trying to do?
Hold on.
Oh, you're pressing buttons now.
I am.
Jeez Louise, what are we doing here?
All right. You ready to share my screen?
Yep.
And
people are rightfully alarmed. They have a reason to be alarmed. And if you would vote for that, people may not feel so confident that they're safe with you. This is not crazy. This is legitimate feelings of fear of you and a feeling that you might not be someone they could trust. If this thing goes way south, autocracies go south real fast and things get ugly and people get asked to do things.
All right, pause it.
People in and
Brian, pause it.
Out and turn on them.
All right. So, like I was saying, this sounds like they think that the Trump organization is going to come hunt everybody down that didn't vote for him. In reality, they're probably going to hunt her down simply because she's some sort of child peddler. I wouldn't put it past her. But in reality, that's not going to happen. That is going to be far from it. And these people that are thinking that this is what America is going to come to, like it's a Nazi regime, when the presidential candidate they were voting for was placed in when the people voted for Trump to in the primaries. I don't quite get their logic. It confuses the absolute hell out of me. But go ahead and continue playing this.
Well, they think he's Hitler.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But he's far from it. He wasn't placed into power. I mean, I get Hitler was kind of voted in and then took over, but he wasn't. This isn't anything of what Hitler was doing.
No. Here we go.
And if you're voting affirmatively, gleefully for this, and people may not feel so confident in you anymore. That's real, and you kind of have to live with it. So if you think that you can vote for what people see as their destruction and then demand that they still are cool with you and kiki with you and have Thanksgiving with you, like, I think you're kind of missing the point of what people are
Also, if
upset
you're
about. They're
laughing at this, if you're that afraid of us and you're laughing, this is where the issue is. You know, that laugh in itself tells me she's not serious. It's almost like she's trying to read from a script and act. That's what that tells me. You know, if you're listening to these people, I'm not going to listen to any more of this. This is absolute bullshit. So we're gonna just kind of go back to us. But if you have somebody in your family that listens to this and thinks that this is what they need to do because they're afraid of somebody, they're going to listen to somebody they don't know, and they're afraid of somebody they grew up with. They know how they stand. They know where they stand. You know, to me, that itself just says,
well, dude,
what's up?
But you got to hear what this guy has to say. I mean, this guy is absolutely right on target with it. And
so TickPick, I get what you're saying there. Honestly, she's talking to herself. There's a lot of people that follow her, and you know, like I was saying earlier, I have family members who are taking this to heart and that are having like issues because they don't know what's going to happen with the Trump administration. You know, it's crazy to think that Americans are afraid of something that's already been in office, and they think their rights are going away because they either have a vagina or their skin color is different than ours, or when that is farther from the fact. How many times has Trump pulled somebody on stage and given them a job? How many times has Trump talked about who he's helped? How many times has Trump helped black-only colleges get better grants so that they could stay afloat? These people don't understand this. They're not looking at it. And then they're looking at it. You know, I watched a video the other day of this Harris supporter thinking that the Biden administration did an awesome job with the border when it was far from the truth. They think that Trump did nothing for it except for build a couple feet of a wall. You know, it's insane. And then you tell them that, you know, the bill that Congress voted on was a executive order that Biden signed out and then brought back because it was honestly needed.
So what you got is the deep state is absolutely freaking out of their heads. They know.
Yeah, they know what's getting ready to happen to them.
Okay.
And they're trying to put that fear into the left so that they have somebody to sympathize with them.
And the only way that they can try to slow this down is to divide everybody. And
they tried to do that.
They tried using race. They tried using LGBTQRSTUVWXYZ. Okay. That's all failed. So now they're trying to destroy the nuclear family.
Yeah, well, they've been trying to destroy the nuclear family for a while now.
Let's play this video real quick, and then
I don't want to get into it like immediately. I want to keep going on this because it's insane. We'll watch it.
Yeah,
I know, it's a good video. I've seen this
because what they've done is, you know, about Mockingbird.
Yeah, this is why
they had right after the election, they had this freaking Yale University professor come out and start espousing how mentally hurtful this is to leftists, and you should disassociate yourself from these MAGA Trump supporters.
Yeah, this is what I'm trying to get at is, you know, when it comes to the media telling you what to do, that was the opening statement here. Why in the world are our family members listening to these mainstream media when
they've been listening to it all along, Jonathan?
I get that, but my thing is you have family members. They are telling you to stay away from your own family. You know your family better than anybody else. So you're going to tell me that we're the bad guys? I don't care who your family is. I know you don't care who my family is, but at the same point, you care who your family is because of the here I am sounding like fucking camel toe.
Okay.
But
you know what?
We're getting ready to play this.
We giggled, we laughed, because during the whole Trump administration, these people regurgitated every freaking word
Oh yeah.
of the mainstream media. Trump's this, Trump's that, blah, blah, blah. Okay? We've watched it for the last 4 years of the Biden administration, and Trump's a convicted felon. Trump's this.
I'm
Trump's
interested. I'm interested to see what they're going to say about Trump now that he can't do 4 more years after this. So I'm because I feel like a lot of what they did the last 4 years was simply to drive the love for Trump down by not showing his policies and more showing more of his flaws to get the feelings of Americans flowing in a different direction than the administration was actually going. And the left is very susceptible to emotions. It is a party of emotions, in my opinion. But at the same time, we don't have 4 more years of him. We have 4 more years of somebody else. If we take the presidency back again in 2028, that to me, it's going to be very interesting to watch them play their head games. Now, when I started up this show, it was all about Project Mockingbird. There's a reason why I started this show the way I did when I first aired, was with Project Mockingbird and all the CIA documentation to back it up, because they're, and Project Paperclip and all this other stuff that leads into what these paid actors, and that's what they are. They're paid actors. That's the difference between them and us. I don't pay you, and I don't get paid. Every bit of money that I get that comes to this podcast gets donated. I don't do anything else with it. I don't rely on it. Every penny goes to donation. So,
I mean, I don't remember what show it was that I was watching, but they did a montage of the mainstream media and a bunch of the left-wing podcasters.
Yeah,
they put it together, and they were
the same exact word for word.
The same exact word for word on different
shows,
and there's like 30 of them.
Yeah, we'll do another show on it. I mean, I'm more than happy to do another show on that.
If the proof is in the pudding that these people are actually freaking psyoping everybody, you got women out there on the left side that are going out and having their fallopian tubes removed to sterilize themselves because they don't want to get pregnant, because the bad guy Trump
that's on them.
Is taking away.
But once again, Brian, what do we have in this country? What would solve if we were to take action appropriately with the way people are today? What would solve a lot of the gun issues? What would solve all the sexual issues, the pedophilia issues? What would solve all that? It's a mental health crisis.
Getting rid of the deep state.
So look what's going on. I mean, I agree with you. I'm not going to deny that. We absolutely do. But look what's going on, how fucked up it is, who's pushing these agendas, and why. Because they're making money off of it. Big Pharma is one of the biggest issues in pushing all the drugs that these kids take to transition for all their mental disabilities, because they couldn't they couldn't handle that money.
When I say the deep state, I'm talking about
I know, but
BlackRock.
Yeah. And look, that was my next point. Look who owns these companies. Look who owns Big Pharma. Who's pushing their agenda to make the most profit off of it? Who owns the people that made the COVID vaccine, and who probably who made COVID in itself? How much sway does the pharmaceutical have in our FDA decisions? They lobby it all the time. You see what I'm saying? How many of those
95% of the people that lead the FDA end up working for the freaking pharma company.
Yep. How many of our representatives in Congress and the House and the Senate, how many of those people have Big Pharma in their pocket? This is
not only are they in their pocket, that are investing them in their.
That's what I'm saying. That's in their pocket. That's in their pocket. Wow. So, and my biggest thing is, you have all these people who are influenced by companies who are trying to make millions of dollars off of illnesses that they will never cure, instead of people being invested in our well-being as our representatives. they're more worried about themselves making money than they are furthering the population or furthering the wealth amongst the community. COVID has been proven to be yeah, I know it's been proven to be an bioengineered. I was just kind of skirting those lines for the show, but I'll gladly go into that too. But with all these food organizations putting all these chemicals in our food to make it's weakening our minds, and we're becoming more susceptible to what other people say. So if you can't argue what's going on today, we have a bigger issue. And we need to find out and get to the root cause. We have a lot of issues in this country where we have got to find the root cause before we can actually cure something.
Well, we know what the
and
root
everybody
cause
wants
is,
to cure
and
it.
they want it,
Yes.
and Trump wants to go after it and chop its head off.
Well, I get that, but you have to chop its head off at the root cause. You got to chop it off at the roots.
And he's trying. I mean,
I get that.
Look at his cabinet picks.
Yeah, I know. I get that he's doing it. Look at RFK. RFK is going to. He's going to do what he says he's going to do. Oh, I know. And it would be really nice. Yes. I'm so excited with what he's done. But anywho, I've gone off a little topic on tangent, but it's going back to where we were. All this stuff that's going into our foods and into our systems, from medicines to processed foods, is making us to hell our toothpaste and the fluoride going into the damn water. All this stuff is weakening our ability to fight and think for ourselves, and we have to have other people like Joy Reid tell us how to think.
Not only that,
or a psychiatrist who's been trained to make you think that being somebody else is where you need to be. You have the Navy SEAL who was told that he was gay, or was technically a girl because his family favored. I think Kang told us about that last week. Who because his parents favored the girl, he wanted to be a girl. Or psychiatrist said that he should have been a girl. Maybe that's what he was feeling, and he ended up getting fully transitioned. And he's like, "Well, what the fuck? This person's crazy as hell now." These people aren't getting treated for the mental illness they have, and are being forced, in my opinion, to transition. So, and because they're, once again, the chemicals going into their bodies are not they're not transmitting well in their brain. It's calcifying their pineal gland. They can't make decisions for themselves, so they have to listen to people and have those people tell them what to do and what to think. And this is where we have our main issue. Is a lot of the people that think that way, ask them what they're eating.
Okay, you and I, you don't, but I eat the same shit they do.
Yes.
And I have no freaking problems thinking on my own. Yes,
but you're built different. You're raised different. You went through a harder time. You know what life is like. You're also older a lot. Look how many people are far left at your age. Look how many people are far left at my age. Look how many people are far left 10 years younger than what I am.
I think I think you're right. I'm not arguing with you that we need to get the chemical shit out of our foods.
No, absolutely.
Okay, so let's when you talk root causes, let's talk about the real root causes. Okay,
we need prevention.
Not
absolutely.
Because that's the subject you enjoy. Okay, we got.
So
AD did a whole segment today on a school system in New York.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So it comes
that has a transgender pronoun.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm not arguing.
Okay,
with you.
program. They're teaching in kindergarten.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
these kids don't need to know
They've
this.
been programming these damn kids in the school
that.
system.
The other issue, I get
behind our back for decades.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
we
I
probably
know.
lost 2 generations to the school system programming these kids.
Well, so the crazy thing is I think it's hysterical that, and it depends on how you're raised and where you're raised and what you're raised around. But the kids that I know that are growing up, that are around my youngest brother's age and my nephew's age, they're fresh out of high school or still in high school and were able to vote this year. And everybody they know voted Republican, except for the few that were crazy in crazy town. But it's not. I'm not saying it's just the food, Brian. And if you look at the amount of vaccines that are going into our systems compared to when you started getting vaccines to when I started to get vaccines to the kids that are getting vaccines now, that also plays in it. It's multiple different things, right? Like you have the food system, you have the water system, you have the vaccine system, and then you have the education system, and that all piled onto each other makes a great 4-layered cake that is everybody's just enjoying.
And you know what? Thank God, I didn't know this, but I think I shared this with you once. My 26-year-old said, "Dad, Gen Z is going to save this country." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
Oh, yeah.
He goes, "We went through the school system. We listened to all the fucking propaganda bullshit. Okay. We graduated. We laugh at the freaking professors in these colleges. We went through, we laughed at them, but we did it to get the paper."
Yeah. Well, they're still writing the papers as the professor wants. I know that.
Yeah. And he said, "But we figured out for ourselves as a generation that these people are freaking assholes."
Yeah.
Okay. And they're a joke.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's insane where our school system.
And I said, "I don't believe you. I don't believe you." He goes, "Look, I'm telling you, they're coming out for Trump this time." And I said, "Yeah, okay, whatever." Yeah. Guess what?
Yeah, the younger generation
came out for Trump.
Yeah. It was surprising to see it, and I was really happy to see it, to be honest with you. So, but that being said, Brian, let's watch this video you got pulled up here.
Okay, we'll see if anybody recognizes this guy.
This guy, he might be.
The Yale-affiliated psychiatrist encouraged LGBTQ plus people whose family members voted for Donald Trump to cut ties and shut their relatives over the upcoming holidays. That is why families who are in trouble because the parents are conservative and the kids are leftists, they're not in trouble if the kids are liberal. If the kids are leftists and the parents are conservative, that family may well have problems, and then they will seek therapy. But the therapist is probably a left-wing fool. And so the therapist will do more damage, just like this Yale psychiatrist will do more damage to the family. Yeah. If your family members, if you're LGBTQ plus and your family members voted for Donald Trump, you should cut ties and shun your relatives over the upcoming holidays. A Yale-affiliated psychiatrist encouraged LGBTQ plus people whose family members voted for Donald Trump to cut ties and shut their relatives over the upcoming holidays. That is why families who are in trouble because the parents are conservative and the kids are leftists, they're not in trouble if the kids are liberal. If the kids are leftists and the parents are conservative.
Right. It was just recapping itself. So, yeah, no, and that's where we're going. I know my sister had a kind. I don't want to get too far into it, but I wasn't even going to say my sister. But at the same time, but I don't give two shits. Was talking to my father, and my father was just asking, "Hey, how you doing?" Asking questions like that. And I know that it was not. He doesn't care. He just wants to talk to his kids. But because they listen to people like this, and I would love to get a text from any of them right now telling me I'm wrong, that they didn't listen to these people and they're just strictly afraid of us because we voted for Trump. I would love to hear that because I would at least have a little bit more hope for what's going on. I have respect for people that are leftists and will continue to talk to people. I work with one. And I give him all the credit in the world because it is what it is, and that's the way he looks at it. He knows that there's people that vote left. He knows, and he knows that there's people that vote right. And guess what? We can all get along. You know, if Trump, look, I'll tell you, and I will be the first one to tell you, if Trump ends up being like a fucking Hitler, I'm going to tell you now, I will gladly join forces with the liberals and get him out of there.
Absolutely.
I have no problem with that. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with his cabinet. That's the great thing about America.
I'll
We
stand
don't
up
like
for
it.
the
Guess
impeachment
what?
and
We-
put him
we-
in jail.
We did the same thing. January 6th, we didn't think Joe Biden was properly elected in. We rallied. Now, what happened at the Capitol was also the FBI and the CIA getting involved, but that's,
Antifa,
Antifa and all that other shit. But that was a saturated mess.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you now, if anything ever comes about, when Trump comes in and like, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to cut the rights because you voted left. I'm going to tell you that he's not going to do that. But if he ever said anything like that, we're going to come arrest everybody who voted against me. Or we're going to go against everybody who, I don't know, something stupid, wants to be gay. I'll fight for that cause. I don't care.
I don't
Because
even care if they want to be gay. I
But that's
just
what I'm
want
saying.
them, or
if
if
he-
they want to
but
be
he's-
trans or
That's
whatever.
the thing. This is
Leave
my
the
point.
damn kids alone.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he
That's
wants.
it.
But
That's
these
all
people
I
are
want.
so afraid. They're so afraid that Trump's going to come in and basically send them off to the concentration camps because of who they voted for or their political views. I'm here to tell you now that's not going to happen. That is not going to happen. There's no way it can happen. There's no way it will happen. Trump is not that way.
Yeah.
He just wants a better country so that we can all make money, so that we can all live happily and make our lives better for the next generation, so that our kids aren't coming up and having to live in the slums because houses are $2 million for a 1,200 square foot house, because that's the trajectory we're on.
Look, the bottom line was, and I've heard everyone say it, and they still haven't got the message yet. This election was about the kids. Leave the damn kids alone.
Yeah.
Okay? We went and we tried to go to the school boards. We tried to stand up at city council meetings and say,
We got laughed
get
at.
this crap out of our school systems. Okay? They called us crazy. They called us anarchists. The whole 9 yards. Well, you know what? We voted. And now we got someone that's going to look out for the fucking kids.
Tick Pick and put something in the comments here. I mean, I agree with you, but I'm going far left, Tick. I get where you're coming from. He says, I don't think they'll. Sorry, I got to read around my mic here.
I don't think they believe
that.
They believe he will stop their indoctrination.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
they
no.
are right.
No, yeah, you're right. You're right, and that's what they're afraid of. But it's the same thing. We look at it how we had to look at it. They're gonna indoctrinate. We're just on the other side of it. They're gonna indoctrinate our kids so that they think that way, and they're gonna only think that way. But the thing is, as parents, we have to do our best to install morals into our children. I give prop to my oldest sibling. They put, him and his wife put in, value and ethics into their kids, and they all turned out to be pretty decent kids. One of them's an adult now, and he's a fairly decent
There's
adult.
a way that he can get them to stop the indoctrination.
What are you talking about?
Well, when Trump.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that's taken over the Department of Education and get rid of it and put it back to the states.
And then we're going to send the money to the states.
Yep.
We can literally say to the states, I'm going to tell you right here, right now, this money is on condition that shit's out of the school.
Well, the whole thing is if he just cuts that out completely, all that money is just funded by the states.
But before, if we said if the executive branch,
I don't think our federal government needs to be involved in our school system.
If we're sending them money, we have a say in how they spend that money.
Our money, and our community tells them how. So what really needs to be is school choice in our states. So say I live in Virginia.
I agree 100%
choice.
on that.
I don't want my kids to go to let's just say Hanover. Well, Hanover's not bad, but I mean they still had some stuff. I don't want to go to Hanover school because they allowed a furry to walk around the school as a furry. and think that they're a freaking cat. I don't want them to go to the Glen Allen schools because they're all indoctrinated and there's a gay flag in every room, but yet they won't hang the American flag.
There's got to be a way to stop it.
Yes, they don't need to know anything.
I love the idea of school choice.
Yeah,
the money follows the kid.
The whole pushing the rainbow flag thing, to me, is more of a sex ed education thing that doesn't need to go that far. If they have that feeling as an adult, then they can explore it. That's fine. But as a child in a school system, in a public school system, they should not be doing that. But that's just my opinion, and it's only worth about 2 cents. That's how they got power, by taking and handing out. Sorry. Yes, absolutely. Delete the agency, period. No, and we need to do that with a lot of the agencies. And get them all out of DC, like Trump said. I was talking about that years ago with my dad. All these agencies sitting on top of each other, making their decisions off what this agency is going to do to that agency and how this agency is going to affect that agency. Why in the world is the Department of Agriculture in DC? How much agriculture is I can't even say it. It's in DC. Anybody know?
Zero.
Well, let's say there's a farm, and it's technically in Maryland, right on the edge of Maryland, off 295 on the Beltway there.
Should be in
and that is their farm.
Should be in Iowa or Ohio or
absolutely needs to be somewhere where there's farmland, somewhere where they can go look at what's going on, look at the regulations, and go from there. How is it being affected? They also need to look at regenerative farming, because the way we farm, and that's what they're going to do. But we need to look at regenerative farming, because in 60 years, they say that in 60 years, our soil is going to be depleted with the way that we're farming today.
Yep.
We're going to be done. They're not going to be able to make food because they're going to start losing nutrition. It's going to start losing all sorts of minerals that help grow the seed. It's sad and scary, to be honest. We're creating another major dust bowl.
The whole system is screwed up.
Oh yeah, I know.
We know that.
My point being is, if we can get, to where our government is not overreaching as much as it is, then I feel like we'd be in a better situation, because if you look at how much of our paycheck is going to the federal government every year.
Did you know that there's 7,000 people working in the Hoover building?
Yeah. Why?
I was like, you got to be kidding me. 7,000?
Yeah.
And then Kash Patel said, oh, and about 1,000 of those 7 are in the FBI intelligence section that does the same work the CIA does. What?
Yeah. No, I know. It makes sense. So I get why you want your own intelligence for investigating. I see the FBI needs to go back to doing what they were doing best, is helping out.
That's what Kash said. He said the first day he's going to empty the Hoover building and tell them
they need to go back.
7,000 are all cops. Get out there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They're there to assist. This is the original reason for the FBI, to assist in investigations that cross state lines.
Yes.
Or if there is some sort of serial killer, or to help out agencies, police agencies, sheriff's departments,
the U.S. government.
Yeah, that's I would get to that, but to help local law enforcement in your area, if they do say, I live in a small town. If the state doesn't have time or doesn't have the ability to investigate something or run some sort of search or DNA or anything like that, they can go through the FBI, and the FBI can help them out. There needs to be a cyber version of it to catch all these child peddlers, and there needs to be a actual version for that as well. I get that part of the FBI. We need that, because there are small towns that can't handle the load that they had in the state. Would take too long. But that's when the FBI needs to come in and kind of help alleviate some of what's going on.
Is the U.S.
Yes, it's the U.S. CIA. I get it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is we need a clean house and move these agencies around so that they're not all in the same spot, so that they're all, within the same area. And they need to be audited. They need to be audited by appointed or elected. Hell, I'm fine with it elected, but anybody, an actual auditor, not some congressman who's never done an audit in their life, not some, not somebody who, like, an actual auditing group. Maybe you took your top auditors from certain states and you sent them all over and audited our federal government.
Well, that's what the DOGE is going to do.
That's what I'm saying. And this is what we need. And people are so afraid of it because they're going to lose their job. Yes, it's going to suck. I'll give you that. It's going to be job loss. But at the same time, we're going to be saving money, and it's going to drive the prices down because we're not paying for useless air.
Your company's a contractor, right, with the government?
Yep. No, not with the government.
No?
No.
Okay. Well, you know what? With 11 years in the Air Force Reserve, I can tell you, and I was on active duty, the redundancy of jobs in the U.S. government.
Oh yeah, it's stupid.
Okay.
I've done contract work for U.S. government before, and it's funny because the work I did, it was a little specialized, but at the same time, I could have sold you what I was building, and you could have put it up.
Yeah.
I would have just had to come in there and program it. And at the same time, like, we were doing our own electrical work, where we were working for the federal government, they had their own electrician on staff. But they paid us to do the electrical work. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So, like, I get wiring up, but they, like, running conduit to where we were from their panel to where this machine was going, they could have done easily. We gave them, we had the specs. It's very easy. All you got to do is ask, hey, yeah, no, these are the specs. This is what you need to run. How far is your distance? You can calculate that from there. But there's once again, union, anything to do with, and I'm not bashing on union. Don't get me wrong there, but anything to do with the government doing any sort of work is like pulling teeth out of a tiger's asshole.
Well, you should try working within the system.
Yeah, I can't do that. My wife worked for the state, and it was pain just listening to her talk about how many useless people are working for the state of Virginia, just freeloading it. And they won't fire them because, one, their skin color, two, their ethnicity of any sort.
You're dealing with people that are
being
like
their sex. So yeah, no, it's absolutely retarded.
To move a piece of paper in the federal government system, you literally have to have a PhD or be very good at manipulating to get it flowing.
Yeah.
Because that's why it takes so long to get shit done.
Yeah. My wife was an auditor for the state, and it's very interesting to hear the stories, what was going on, and how they'd write these organizations up for not properly reporting or not properly doing anything right. And they'd come back the next year and write them up for the same exact thing. Same exact thing. And then they'd get written up again the following year. They'd fix one thing and get written up for all over again for the same thing. Yeah, now, don't get me wrong. There are some organizations that do it right. They have it 100% going down right. Like, they never get a write-up. They're on par with everything, and the only thing they get is maybe a suggestion. Oh, yeah, you did this. Well, maybe you should try it this way. But that's it. But it's insane to me. And it's still, it doesn't matter where you are. There are still people in there that, when asked for information, will not do their job. And then you have to go above them in order to get any information. So all the only people doing the work are the people in the upper positions, like upper management positions, and the upper management is who's giving you most of the information you need in order to get your job done. So why are the peons there? Why are the Joe Schmoes there if they're not doing anything?
Well, the Joe Schmoes make the government work. It's the upper echelon the middle management up. That
I'm gonna disagree with you on that. So
I worked in it.
My wife did too.
Well,
and the only people who
I don't know
actually
what department she worked in, but
I get it. No, I get it. There are some departments that are that don't require a certain skill set to get the job done, right? Her job required that skill set, and you could only make it anywhere if you made it, like if you were working your ass off. And she did. She climbed that ladder. And the people that were up there working, unless they'd been working there for 20 plus years, 30 plus years, and that was the only way they got to the top, was just through time. Most of those people she was working with were there for less than 10 years and were making their way up. And those were the ones she kept along her side, and ended up actually bringing her with her when she left the working for the state.
Oh, she worked for the state. I'm talking the federal government.
Oh no, I didn't. I'm not talking federal. I'm talking state. But still, it reflects right with state to federal. I know that the federal government. No,
they're two. Yeah, they're two whole different systems, man.
But as above, so below, right? It's still there. It's just not as magnified.
The state system is fucking political.
Yeah.
The federal system is just a quagmire.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It's not political, but
I mean, look what the Biden administration had as assistants or interns. What were they doing? When we have interns for the company I work for, I know, but when we have interns for the company I work for, they actually do work. They're there to learn. They're there to figure out if they even want to do this job. Those people were there for an Instagram reel, is what it was. That's all they were there for. They wanted their 5 minutes of fame just so that they can continue on with their fucked up life as whatever they wanted to be.
Well, there's a lot of people that don't do any work in the federal government. They're just collecting a paycheck.
I wish I could do that. If I just sat around and did nothing, I'd be broke. I'd have been fired a long time ago.
And they spend money like drunken sailors.
Oh yeah, and it's how easy it is to spend money that's not yours.
Oh yeah, because that's what my job in the military was.
Yeah, you just spend money. That's all.
I had my best friend was the senior NCO of a mobility group, and my job was combat logistics. In other words, I managed all the equipment that went to war for my base. And he would steal me from my job to come to his job September 1st to September 30th, because the new year for the federal government starts October 1st. So starting September 1st, you have to spend every dime of your budget or you lose it. And then your budget the following year will be reduced by that amount. Yeah. So he would bring me in September for me to order all sorts of freaking equipment. And my job was to say, okay, Bob, you got $100,000 left in your budget for the rest of the year. I'm going to order XYZ, and you're going to be left over with $100.
Yeah, see,
this wasn't that the unit really needed that stuff.
No, yeah,
we had to spend the money.
Yep, yeah, and it works. It works in the corporate world, the private sector as well. If you don't spend whatever you're given, then you lose it, right? Like you don't get that amount next year, you get less. And the reason that is there is so that they can kind of learn how to distribute the money. And if a certain department needs more money than others, but it never works out that way because a department is going to need more money at some point, and these companies don't, will only give them what is allotted instead of putting a pool aside for like, hey, yeah, maybe we should do this. In the private sector, I can see why you would spend what you need to, but in the public sector, that's where, like I said, we need to get into these audits. This is where we need to start kind of breaking down the nitty gritty. 9/11, what is it? The DOD lost how many $1 million or $1 billion? And we
It's
43.
almost $1 trillion.
Yeah, it was
It's like
unbelievable.
$860 billion.
Yeah. So it's unbelievable that we even think that, the government really cares about us when they can't even keep track of their own money within the Department of Defense.
Well, I think that most of that money went into Black Ops, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but still at the same time, all the stuff that we can't read about. If this
Or
is where,
they want to even tell Congress about. It's easier to say
exactly.
we lost the money and don't know where it went than to
I
say, oh, well, we were
I would
funding
rather-
a Black Op.
Yeah, I would rather our federal government have to sign or get our vote or our bill or our representatives to vote and say, hey, no, you guys actually do need this for whatever agency. These are what these people need to be doing. They need to be representing us for any decision that the federal government needs instead of just appointing somebody to spend our money. Like the director of the FBI or the director of whoever. They should have to get some sort of representation to sign and say, yes, this is
We
approved.
should hold them accountable for the money that's appropriated.
Absolutely.
To them.
Absolutely. And maybe that my idea isn't the greatest, but at least it's something,
And
it needs to be
account
audited
for $860 billion.
Yeah, it needs to be audited some way or another. And then we also need to get out of the Federal Reserve. That is 100% illegal. It is unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
We need to have our own back money, not somebody else's money that we are borrowing. Look at your dollar bills, people, and read me what it says. Please. This is not constitutional. And the presidents that have fought it,
And how did
presidents
we
that
get
have
into
fought
the
it
world,
have all been assassinated. So,
World Bank?
yeah.
How
Now
did what the fuck is that? Come on.
that's the Rothschilds. That's all it is.
Yeah.
But anywho, well, I think we're gonna cut it off here. I've got to work in the morning, so I've got to go.
I'm going to just say we need to pray for Donald Trump this weekend.
Yeah, no, we definitely need some safety.
The
there.
last time Donald Trump was in the same city or state as the first lady,
Yeah.
almost took a bullet to the head.
Yep. That's true.
So let's pray for him that nothing happens to him when he's in Paris.
Yeah. Yeah, we just need to pray for him every night. We just need to pray for the safety of everyone at this point. It's a scary world out there, and they're going to do whatever they can to stop it. That's a little black pill in me, but I'm not going to go down too far down that hole. But at the same time, it's where it is. But with that, I appreciate, Tick and Aaron for tuning in and chiming in there. You guys are awesome.
Thanks, dude.
I'm going to try to get back on time. It's just been real busy. The holiday seasons are real hard to kind of get on schedule with this. But I'm going to try my hardest to start getting back on at 7:30 that we normally do?
6:30.
6:30 we normally do. See, it's been so long we've done a 6:30 show. I forgot. But yeah, it's hopefully we can get back into it and start and get back on our normal schedule so that we're not coming on at 9 and at 7:30 or whatever and just doing it that way. So, but anywho, until next time, guys, I appreciate y'all watching.
Have a good one.
When he salutes the flag salutes back. When he questions the outcome of an election, the DOJ indicts itself. When he sneezes, people say, "God bless America." Cuba imports cigars from him. He is the most patriotic man in America.
I don't always smoke cigars, but when I do, I smoke Patriots. Stay MAGA, my friends.
My favorite. Can I get one of those?
No, Bill. We all know what you like to do with cigars. Patriot Cigars, a premium smoke for freedom-loving patriots.
The Patriot Cigar Company's story started with Alan Jacoby's love of cigars and love of America. There's no better way to celebrate the freedoms we cherish than smoking a premium Patriot cigar. Whether it's TNTs, Moabs, Hellfires, or Mark 48 torpedoes, all Patriot cigars are handmade and blended with 100% long filler premium Nicaraguan tobacco to bring you the smoothest smoking experience imaginable. Patriot cigars are enjoyed by many of MAGA's finest. Do yourselves a favor